bucket theory that makes your health bulletproof. What a video. So I've done some notes on the video and this should make you think a little bit. So I've been saying that Paul's addicted to cannabis and his excuse is, I'm not addicted, I only do it for ceremonies. And that's what he said on Google. I've done a podcast, I've done a blog about that, and I've done a video. So the link will be below so you can watch it. So watching this video today, I found out some things. So Paul has 7 different hats that he puts on if and when he feels like it. So the first one is, I'm a biohacker. But he had Dave Asprey on, and when he went off, he started slagging off biohacking if you do it yourself. But Dave Asprey is part of the medical mafia, or the health guru mafia, the same as Elliot Hulse and JP Sears. They're all multi-millionaires, right? So they're all sticking together and playing their own stuff. Paul gets them on, like Elliot Hulse, because he's got a million followers online. And then JP Sears, the comedy guy that's not doing it no more, he says. But he had a huge following as well. So because they've all got huge amounts of money, that's why he's interviewing them. Then having the bio guys with the supplement on the video today, he categorically says at the beginning, oh, you've got loads of money, haven't you? You've done really well. So that proves that he only interviews people with high wealth or something he can make money from, or the health mafia, the holistic mafia. They can all market each other, slap each other on the back, and then occasionally slag each other off and put a little bit of bad stuff out there in which to get more clicks, more views, so their view rate goes up. Does all that make sense? So he's a biohacker, he's an alchemist, he's a shaman, he's a remote viewer, he's a master practitioner, which I agree with. He's a medical healer, he's a Tai Chi master, he's a theory leader and a person that wants to heal and balance the planet. Right, so let's go through the alchemy one. So he said that every night he goes through 12 different cannabis types in which to find out which one is best for him that night. This is somebody that's just hugely addicted to drugs, 100%. Because you wouldn't have 12 different types of cannabis, would you? Then if you watch at the beginning of the video, the smoking bag is at the side. So that means that he just can't even live without it. It has to be near him. So it's like he's extra crutch type thing. Does that make sense? I don't need a chocolate bar every day. I can walk past the shop and not have any chocolate. And that's how I know I'm not addicted. The same with masturbation. If I want to knock one out because it's the end of the month, I'll do it. Or sleep with a girl. But I don't have to do it every fucking day. So I know I'm not addicted. Does that make sense? So if you're using 12 to 15 cannabis plants or whatever, or tobaccos, that he's got ready before his night ends, this is somebody that's highly stressed out, that's not relaxing, and thinks by having 12 to 15 cannabis types that it's going to relax him more. And then obviously if he's going to bed at 9 o'clock and waking up at 3 in the morning, he's not sleeping well, he's not healing well, he's not living his 6 foundational factors, which he tells all of us to live, if that makes any sense. So the shaman bit, he done shaman work on me. I've been to other shamans. His was like just basic. It wasn't as in depth for £3,000 that I paid to see him one-to-one. Yes, he taught me how to talk to my soul. I've been using that since I come back from California, and it always works and it's never wrong. So I'm really grateful for him showing me that. That was something that really, really worked. But the healing, rattling, with a stick with loads of shells on it, and then he got stones and was banging them on my varicose veins that I've got in my legs from where I've done 16 years on a door for sometimes 6 hours or maybe 12 hours a night, depending on what club I was working at. So he was banging them on my varicose veins. You do any massage course, that's a massive no-no. Same when you go and have a tattoo. As you know, I've got a few tattoos. They won't put tattoos on varicose veins because it can cause a massive problem. So the shaman thing, I'm not 100% convinced about. The alchemist, I'm not really convinced about that. He's just got a drug habit and he's disguising it as, oh, I'm the guru, I'm the healer. I haven't got a drug problem, but then he has to have the tobacco bag next to him in the video. And then he says right at the beginning, oh, we had a great training session and we had a good smoking session. That's exactly what people that are addicted to things do. Alcoholics only hang around with alcoholics because they know it's acceptable for them to drink at 9 or 6 o'clock in the morning, having a pint of Stella or strong brew like in the UK. But their family members that don't agree with it, it's not allowed. So they'll only hang with them types of people. Does that make sense? And obviously the guys that were promoting their new hydrating drink, cheers, are very, very rich. So it's the medical mafia. There is a book on medical mafia which I bought, which the Institute recommended. But they're the holistic medical mafia because they're all in each other's pockets. So the next one, the remote viewer, the one story he said, these guys were trapped on a mountain. He could visualize them where they were, told the people where to go and find them. They found them and they writ their names in blood. I'm sure he got that from a movie. But if that was real, it would be 100% in the media. He's Paul Chek. He's a mega famous man in the fitness industry. No other industries, but the fitness industry. So why wasn't that in major news? Why wasn't that around the world? Paul Chek saves his guys that gets lost. Like if there's a fire or something really bad in America and somebody finds them or puts the fire out or saves somebody's life, they get an award, they get a medal out there. So why didn't that happen to Paul if he's really a true remote viewer? Master practitioner of his own system, yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Medical healer, well, you know, if he's got no PhD and he's got no doctorate's degree, you can't really say that if you've not done all the other in-depth studying in which to become a, you know, medical healer. Now, he says he's a Tai Chi master. I've seen him do the stalk walk. I've seen him do some, you know, the chi stick he brought out. But other chi masters say you don't need the stick. You can use a bit of wood or a bit of tree. Just cut it and put it in between your hands. But a lot of the masters only use their hands. So their hands are like that, and they're doing this. So if you closed your eyes, and if you can feel energy really well, like I can, as soon as I get to about there, I'm feeling both palms of my hands. Does that make sense? So when you're doing the Tai Chi circle, why would you need a stick? Oh, because they want you to pay £40 for a bit of wood that they've done on a lathe for £5.50 maybe. Okay, so Tai Chi master, he said he's practiced it for years and years and years. Yes and no. When I stood next to him, I didn't feel a whoosh of energy. Should you feel that with a Tai Chi master? I think so, yes. The same as if you're standing next to a good shaman, you should be able to feel their energy field. Or they can feel your energy field and go like that, oh, you got that issue, you got that issue. I can do that now, that's quite easy. So why would he have 7 hats? Because he uses it in podcasts, and when somebody calls him out, then he'll use another hat. Does that make sense? Obviously, he's a father. Obviously, he's an author. Obviously, he's in fantastic shape for his age, even though he looks really old. When he's not got the filters on, when he's doing his podcast, when he's on his own. But he spoke about the 12 different types of cannabis. And he said, oh, you just need to sniff it and find out which one makes you feel better. And that's the one you should smoke. So this would be the same as if you was with your dealer, as in if you was a drug addict. He would go, right, I've got LSD, I've got pills, I've got cannabis, I've got some plant medicine, because they've got that in England now. Which one do you want? And it depends on your mood which one you're going to take. But the difference, where he was talking about Coca-Cola and all these fizzy drinks, the difference with the fizzy drinks is that they don't kill you. Yes, if you have huge amounts of it, it may kill you. But it's not going to make you drop down dead. It's not going to give you psychosis. It's not going to give you schizophrenia. And it's definitely not going to build a massive habit. As in a habit of where if you don't get it, you get depressed. Or if you don't get it, you want to rob your neighbour. Or if you don't get it because you ain't got any money, you'll go everywhere to get it. Coca-Cola and fizzy drinks don't do that. Does that make sense? Yes, they do have aspartame in. Aspartame is a neurotoxic chemical which can cause lupus and other problems in the body. But that's only when you're having huge amounts of it. Then he spoke about a watch, wearing a watch. Oh, I felt it go up my arm and oh, it damaged my heart and I had to take it off. Oh, then the other thing that made me laugh, oh, don't wear any jewellery around your neck. But and yet Angie is selling a bit of jewellery that everybody should wear that's $200. They're supposed to change all your energy field and make yourself feel fantastic. If you read the science about it, it doesn't like science, but then she's quoting science for you to buy this product, which is $200, which they want all the practitioners to wear, but it might be a placebo effect that's making them feel better. Is there really scientific evidence, white papers to back up what they're saying? But the head of the institute, the founder, is saying don't wear anything. But and yet you're watching, there's video evidence or photographic evidence of him walking around Heaven House, and he's got this little black wallet on the side of his belt on his shorts. That's got an iPhone in it. Can you see where it's all BS? Yes, that might be stopping the EMF because it's made out of a certain leather or whatever. But it's still strapped to the side of him. It's still going to be affecting you. So I agree with about the Apple Watch. I did this with a client. I said, let's do muscle testing on your Apple Watch, because I want you to see how much it's breaking your auric and your energy fields. So just put your arm up like that, push down, go strong, go weak, and then hold it. Tell them to hold the watch in their hand, and then go put your hand down there, so then they don't think about what you told them earlier, and then push down. And if it makes them extremely weak, you know that that watch is bad for them. The same as if you get somebody to say, I love you, I love you, I love me, I love me. You can do the same test to find out whether they love themselves or not. It's a great test to do, because if they don't love themselves, they go weak and they start crying. They go, yeah, I don't. That's why I don't look after myself. That's why I don't work out like you, Scott. That's why I eat shit. Well, let's work on that. Let's find out why you don't love yourself. What's caused it? Was it mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, auntie, or a bully at school that made you think like that? If that makes sense. Only if a client's willing to go that deep. So 12 cannabis he tries every night, he said, before he goes to bed. What I do before I go to bed, I have a hot bath or a hot shower, because as your body temperature goes down, you go into more deep sleep. I bought a a lavender oil from India that is the most powerfulest lavender oil I've ever used, and it's only £5 for 5 ml. What I do is I put it on my meridians, the back of my neck, my temples here, my wrists here, and then I breathe it in for about 4 seconds. Within 10 minutes, I'm out like a light. This is the best oil I've ever bought. It's just fantastic. And it's only £5. It's so cheap, but so powerful. It's made by this company here. This is another oil I use when I'm by my Mac. And this, when I put it into the water, it actually separates the water, because I put it in a dehumidifier, and it makes the room smell lovely, and it really energizes me to do videos and other stuff. So how can he have 7 hats? So the alchemy you can't prove. Biohacking is Dave Asprey's stuff, so he's nicked that from Dave Asprey, but then tells the people that are watching the podcasts and the videos, biohacking is terrible, it's really wrong. So why would you take that name on in this video? Shaman, not too sure. Remote viewer, I think that's a massive lie. Master practitioner, yes, but he hasn't got a doctor's degree, he hasn't got a master's, hasn't got no qualification really to really say that he can do that. Medical healer. Now, as a shaman, I've got some books here that the Chek Institute recommended about bark flower remedy. These are the only remedies that I really use. And what I do with my clients is that, say they've got real dark hucha energy from where a family member have died. I've done this with 10 clients. And I get the bark flower remedy, I do the muscle testing, and I say, this one would be good for you, this one would be bad for you. Just give it a try for 3 or 4 days and just tell me how you feel. Nothing harmful, no drug, nothing at all. Totally natural, totally healing. A couple of days they ring me, a client of mine lost a family member. They was really in a bad way, constant grieving, heavy cloud over their head. After they used what I said, completely normal again. So that stuff does work, but you don't need to call yourself a medical healer in which to be able to use it. I just use my intuition and what's worked and find out what the client really likes or what they're into. If they say to me, I don't like fucking plants, of course I'm not going to recommend plants. Does that make sense? The same as I've had clients say to me, I hate pigeons and I hate all animals. And I try and go a bit deeper and find out why, and then you find out that they may have had a bad experience at the zoo, or a bird might have come next to them that scared them, that put them off animals forever. And you try and recoach them and get them back into loving the animals again, if that makes any sense. So why have 7 hats and 12 types of cannabis before he goes to sleep at night, when all I use is £5 lavender oil that's been pressed and made in India. Cost me £5. The cheapest oil I've ever bought, and it's been the absolute best. And that's what I love, is that when you get, you can buy lots and lots of books, and if you buy a book and you put your hand underneath it, put your hand on top, and then just ask your soul, can I ask you a question? My eyes go up if it says yes, and then my chest depresses if it says no. If it says no, I'll put it back. I don't even buy it. But every time it says yes, there's always a golden nugget. And I love it when you go out and about and buy a golden nugget. Like I was in the Wild Ones in the King's Road. And the Wild Ones woman, she's a card reader, and there's one of her cards. And I was chatting to her and I went, look, I'm really going through this really weird period. And she went, oh, really? I said, yeah, my card's not worked. Now my other card's not worked. Everything just keeps going wrong. It's just really weird. And she went, you need the astrophyllite crystal. I went, really? She went, yeah. I said, what does it do? And she went, look, here's the book. So I read it in the book. Balances all your chakras. And I was thinking, really? Is it going to work? Done the highest, done the soul thing. Is it going to work? Got home, done the sacred space, cleared sacred space, opened sacred space, asked for the 4 directions to come in, laid down, put some chompy stones that my soul told me I should use, put the stropholite crystal on my forehead, and I was in another planet. I don't know where I was. It was over, it started and then it was over in a flash. It was really weird. And then I went through the dark night of the soul. I was crying for about 5 days, just crying. Listen to music, it would trigger me. Whatever I did triggered me. And then I realised that in the 9 rites, the Alberto Villoldo work, there's the thing called the Stargazer's rites. And the shaman that I was working with wouldn't give it to me at that time. And I think that the spirits that come in gave me the Stargazer's rites. And what the Stargazer's rites enable you to do, it's quite tough. Because you see everything that's wrong in the world, but you want to make a change. And that's another thing that Paul said. Oh, he wants to make a change in the world. He's estimated worth £32 million. He's trying to sell holistic lifestyle coaching and spirit gym. That's not changing the world. That's just making his bank balance bigger. And paying for his 12 different types of cannabis. In this video, he didn't smoke anything, but he mentioned it right at the beginning. Oh guys, you know, we had a great training session together. Then we had some smoke. So when somebody's addicted to drugs or addicted to something, they can't stop mentioning it. But they will only hang around with people that are on the same thought or wavelength. Does that make sense? Same when I was a nightclub bouncer and I had to meet some underworld people. And one of my friends knew that I was a bit of a fruitcake, as in love a fight and will go over the top if I need to. As in, my sister was having a problem with her ex-husband. He was dealing out of the house. So I got my men together, as in my doorman friends, bouncer friends, all big lumps. 3 of us, we went there and I kicked the door straight in, went up and sorted the problem out. But when I was in the wasn't in the underworld, but when I went to meet the underworld guys, I was only allowed in because the guy that I was really close to was in that world. So when I walked in, he went, they like looked at me and looked at him and went, what's he doing here type thing? He's not one of us. And he went, look, he's cool. I've seen what he can do. I've seen what he does. So then I was allowed in. And this is the same with the medical or the holistic mafia, is that you're going to have a certain bank balance and you're going to have to be open to what Paul's doing and not going to go, Paul, how can you be these 7 things? How can you have these 7 different hats? Which one is real and which one's genuine? The alchemist you can't prove. The shaman you can if you have a great session with him and he heals you. Now, I know somebody that was working with Angie for 3 years. That's not healing. Working with somebody for 3 years, that's really cash cowing. And Paul said that to us as students. You should be able to get your client and get them in great shape within 6 to 12 months. And then they should leave you unless you become really good friends, which happens a lot, or they're getting worse and they still need your coaching, but they're happy to do that. Does that make sense? But having a client for 11 years and 30 years is one big fucking cash cow. And this is what's making me think a lot. And remember, I'm not in the cult anymore. I've not got the blinkers on just going, yes, Paul, yes, Paul, yes, Paul, yes, Paul, yes, Paul, yes, Paul, yes, Paul. I'm saying, no, Paul, no, Paul, no, Paul, that's bollocks. I don't believe in that. That's shit. That's a lie. And that's just marketing. Does that make sense? So alchemism, is that true? I don't know. Shamanism didn't heal me. Remote viewing, no proof of that or evidence. The evidence of the army, or not the army, the paratrooping regiment, training the American Army boxing team. Where's the evidence? He just says it. And then he said that training with football teams or different teams that he helped, they was all fucked. Then he said they weren't all fucked. Well, are they fucked or are they not fucked? You got to make up your mind. But it's like as if he's in the mindset, like he said, that everything, to make good sales, you got to convince people that they're going to die. That's what the medical industry does. Or you got to stick this thing up your bum to find out if you got cancer up your ass. But they're making money from you sticking that thing up your bum, and they're sending it away and making money from it. So they're using them scare tactics. Do you see what I mean? He said back in 2004, 2005, all the water's going to dry up. There's not going to be any water. Everything's going to be fucked. We're all going to be dead. I'm still here. 2026. And I'm sure I'll be here in 5056. Because I've got good genes. My dad's still alive, even though he's got severe dementia. My mum's still alive. She's got lymphedema. So hopefully I'll have a good long life. But if spirit calls me, it calls me. It's just the way it is, isn't it? Doesn't bother me in the slightest. So that's what you've got to remember. If he's not addicted, why does he have the bag next to him in every video? And like I said in my podcast or my blog and in my video, the real shamans around the world only use tobacco for healing purposes. They don't smoke it all the time. The same with plant medicine. They do not do it 1,000 times because they know the power of it. You do it once, maybe once a year or once every couple of years. You don't do it, like Paul said, 1,000 times. It's like unbelievable. All I see Paul as is a brilliant marketer. Yes, 100%. He's brilliant at putting things together, 1,000%. The courses are amazing. I learned some brilliant stuff and I still use it today. But the price, license, not being valid anywhere, him slagging off AI, him slagging off science. Science saves people's lives. So he got bitten by a rattlesnake, right? So if he got bitten by a rattlesnake, if it wasn't for science finding out the antivenom, he would have fucking died. Is that not true or true? So why would you slag off science when it saved your life? Now, I believe in COVID, with all the stuff that's coming out about Fauci, that, they lied to everyone, and the ones that were weak, Gavin Jennings, had the jab, and others had the jab. I know that Matt didn't have it, Lee didn't have it. I know that Phil Lazide definitely had it, because he told me down the phone. I'm like, you fucking wankers, including Gavin. I couldn't give a shit. Why would you have the jab when you're running an holistic health, fitness guru? Fucking, I use 12 pits. I test 12 pits of cannabis every night, and I'm not addicted. Institute. Why did Phil have it? He read just as many books as me. And Lee, and give him credit, even though what they did to me was wrong, were putting it out there. But I didn't see Lee or Matt at any demonstrations. Me and my mate and another client of mine, we went to 5 or 6 in London. I didn't see any faculty there. So it's a bit plastic, isn't it? You know, oh, let's talk about why you shouldn't have it and how bad it is, but we won't really put ourselves forward and go to a demonstration and really be counted at the demonstration. I was there 5 times. None of them was there. Didn't see any of them. If I did, I would have went up to him, go, hello, how are you? Good to see you here, supporting the cause. And now it's all come out. How does Gavin feel? One, with what I'm doing, suing the fuck out of them, and two, he took the jab and probably forced his family to have it. My sister had the jab 3 times. I kept trying to tell her, she wouldn't fucking listen. But some people are so in their egos and think they know it all, and when you try and help them, you just can't help, so you just have to walk away. It broke my heart that they had it. My family members, not Gavin, I couldn't give a shit about that cunt. He don't give a shit about me trying to sabotage my business for fucking 13 years. What sort of a cunt does that? That only met me twice. Only met me twice. Now, if I'd have met him 3 or 4 times and like I pissed Matt off, pissed Lee off, called him a midget cunt or whatever, or punched him or did something out of order, I could understand them trying to trash my business. But they forgot I'm a master, 100% master at Google and YouTube. That's why I've had, 53,000 views in the last 2 months. 50,000 views. Gavin, Lee, Paul, Phil the Backstabber, and the Institute know what you've done to me, thinking that I was an idiot doorman with no brain. For all that time, 2 years, looking at structural law, as well as looking at what I can do on YouTube, mastering it. That's why all my blogs, if you put in, is the Chek Institute accredited? Google's now agreeing with me. AI is agreeing with me. And that means because AI is agreeing with all the things that I'm saying, they can never take it down. It's always going to be there. And I know this for a fact because a client of mine said, Scott, I've got an AI thing. What do I need to do about it? So I researched it, and it's really difficult. It's near impossible to take an AI thing down if you've done something wrong and there's proof and there's evidence. And the great thing is that AI will, this is what Paul hates, is that AI can do its research and find something in 5 seconds. 5 seconds, or even less than that. So if there's shit about the Institute that they've hidden, or they think they've hidden, or they think has died off, that's why AI said that the Chek Connect doesn't work for 99% of the practitioners that are on there, because it went out, sent everything out, found the information where other people were complaining about it, and it didn't work, so it gave the numbers. And because it's done through their system, it's 100%. So they can never get rid of that number. And all they had to do, all Gavin had to do, was come to the table and sort the issue out. But what did he do? Attack me 14 times. Burner accounts, getting other Czech practitioners trying to get in my head. Got a police sergeant to call me. It's all documented. Ready for when the big day or whatever happens. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, 33 minutes long. You can make up your own mind. You can do the courses. It's entirely up to you. I will never give them another penny ever in my life. And everybody that phones me or gets in touch and says to me, what do you think of the Chek Institute? I'm going to tell them the truth. The stuff is good. It's too deep. You won't be able to use it with your clients, not all of it. And like Matt Walden was working for the Chelsea club. They got rid of him because it was too deep and there was too many people that didn't understand it to his level. That's why he had to leave. It wasn't because they didn't want it, it's because it's too deep, it's too long. Paul said in this video tonight that when he was working with athletes, they wanted them fixed straight away. But he said it might take 3 to 6 months, if not longer, because of the injury. And this is why we always lose the World Cup. That's why I don't watch the football anymore. We lost the World Cup because England football players do not play all year round with each other, because they play for all these different teams. So they get used to one goalie or one defender for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. Then they've got to get used to another defender. And remember, in the World Cup, everyone's got a massive ego. Everybody wants to score the winning goal. That's why we don't win. That's why the other countries win, because they all play together all the time. Right, that's enough of me waffling on. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope it helps you to understand that the program is great. It's just too deep. It's just too expensive. And Paul is lying all the time, constantly contradicting himself. And if you write it all down like I have, watch a video and write it down, then you'll start to see it for yourself. And remember, if this winds you up or gets you angry, it's because you're in a cult and you can't fucking see it. Bye.